So tell a little bit about your insights, where you think the implications are for, in this digital phase.
Yeah.
What are some of the insights you have regarding this event, the social media
Yeah,
rise?
yeah. So social media, I mean, there's a lot that can be said on that one. And in fact, in the book, I really unpack that a lot because to me, social media is really what, and I love how you put it, humanized us. Because if you remember some of the early criticisms of the internet in particular was that it was going to have people alone in their basements,
Mm.
separated from people. We would have no interaction and addicted or whatever it might be. And that is not what happened. I like to say today, we're not connected, we're hyper connected.
Mm.
I mean, the cell phone literally hyper connects us all the time. It's constantly dinging with updates and notifications and news and our Facebook and our Twitter feeds and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube. All those things are constantly, feeding us information. Social media changed us. And I'll make an observation on this COVID moment that we're in. I don't like the word social distancing. I think it's a poor word. I think it's poorly
Okay.
played. We're not social distancing at all, if you really think about it. We're
Physical, physical
physically
distancing.
distancing,
I agree. Totally
but
agree.
we're not socially
Uh,
distancing at all. We're having a conversation here. You're in Australia and I'm in America. We're having a conversation. This is very much a social moment. So we're not socially distancing. We're physically distancing. And, I run some life groups for my church, for example, and we moved to Zoom. And I loved I listened to one of your podcasts earlier today, and you said it so right that Zoom is now a verb, just like Google is a verb. I'm going to Google or I'm going to Zoom. It's become a verb. And Zoom changed everything. I think a lot of us I was already well aware of Zoom. I was using it with my grad classes and stuff. But I got to tell you, I had a hard time getting my grad classes to Zoom with me before COVID. COVID hits, and all of a sudden, I start doing Zooms on Friday Zooms with my grad class, which is an all online grad class, and they've been stuck all week long in their apartments or their houses, and they're desperate for some connection. So they said, yeah, let's Zoom. They come in, and then I bring a guest in, someone like you, to come in and talk about the topic of the week. And we record it and we put it up on YouTube and stuff. It changed my grad class. My entire how the pedagogy of how I was teaching changed because of Zoom. And the problem is that a lot of educators today don't think outside the box. They're still trying to think of, we got to still do this like we used to do it in the classroom. What social media teaches us is there's a new way to communicate. And we have to kind of figure that out. Twitter has taught us that we can communicate with brevity. YouTube has taught us that we can communicate with visuals.
mm.
Instagram and Pinterest as well has taught us how we can communicate using visuals. So social media teaches us a lot. Facebook has redefined friendship when you think about it. It used to be that if I had a friend, it was someone that I had spent some time with. We had some things in common, and you were my friend. Well, on Facebook, someone pops in, and I had someone here about 5 years ago friend me on Facebook. He just liked some of the stuff that he was kind of catching off my feed. I guess it kind of got out there, and he popped in, wanted to be a friend, and we started a friendship online, communicating back and forth. And I was in Washington, D.C. this last spring, and lo and behold, he lives in the D.C. area, found out through Facebook, because I said I was kind of going that way, that I was going to be there, says, let's meet. We spent 3 hours together, and really our friendship went to a different level
Yeah.
because of that point. So social media hasn't really, it's connected us, but I also think it's hyper connected us.
Mm.
But it's redefined friendship, it's redefined relationship, and it's redefined how we communicate. And it's something that, again, businesses, schools, churches, institutions, other institutions need to pay attention to.
Mm.
The world is changing.